Hello, Scorpio North Node. This is your new moon reading for September 2021. So, if you are unfamiliar with the North Node, you can check out some of the links in the description box below to find out more about North Node and specifically Scorpio North Node. If you are not sure where your North Node is, there's also some links down there to generate your birth chart or to check out a table of North Node dates and which sign it was in on which date. Yes. I will get right to it then. So we're going to check out the universal energies, the 5D energies, and the 3D energies that are at play for you from the new moon in September leading up to the new moon in October. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, so we have here in your universal energies, we have footprints, inflow, awakening, and channeling guide. So, in a nutshell, I'm seeing you have some latent gifts in you have been awoken. Now, this can be a talent, but it very much seems like, actually, the first thing I see here is a caramel apple. So if you make sweets, or if you cook or bake, that could be something like a desire that woke up in you, or you finally or suddenly discovered that you have this affinity for pairing herbs and spices and sweets and sours, and because here you see all the beings, and it seems like it comes from your ancestry. So something is woken up in you that is actually passed down through your family. So this is like an energy of community, cultural wisdom, ancestral wisdom, and inflow. For me, this is a lot of light streaming down from the universe, golden light. So a gift, an opening, is mixed with a lot of green. The energy of opening, of the universe supporting or opening that portal for you. And so there's an energy of a lot of light coming in and it needing to be integrated. Next we have awakening. I mean, it's kind of clear. It has like peacock feathers, so it's you opening yourself up, blossoming, soul expansion, reaching a new level of authenticity, and perhaps reigniting passions, hobbies, traditions from your family line that you, or your culture, that you may have suppressed before or ignored. This is all opening up, fanning out like the peacock feathers. Channeling guide. Yeah, what is, it's the energy of you being a direct conduit for whatever's coming through here. And so you're meant to be a conduit for it. I don't know how to. Okay, so yeah, that's quite general at the moment. It's these are the universal energies, as I said. So we'll go down into the 5D vibration. So on a high frequency, this is what's going on for you in September 2021, and now I'm going into your, say, your higher self. As the energy from these first cards come down into your higher self, or rather into your 5D self. How they will appear. Delight, consciousness. So this is a big stack I'm using. It's actually a blend of Lon's Sacred Geometry Activations and Sacred Geometry of Relationships deck. So you may see the same numbers twice because it's two decks mixed together. Scorpio North Node, September 2021. All right. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see Merkaba there. So, well, delight, as you see, is, I find it funny, you got 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 32. But I shuffled well. I pre-shuffled as well before we even started. Delight. This gift that you've already been given and it's still integrating, it's showing up as like you're finding yourself wanting to have more fun in your life, and in the day-to-day, not just like once a week or once a month. So this may mean a change of career or a change of lifestyle where your hobby, I keep seeing someone becoming a caterer or a baker. I see someone making cupcakes or in the kitchen. There's definitely this feeling of what's bringing you joy is also something where you enrich the lives of other people in some way. And I mean, who doesn't like cupcakes? So you're giving them something sweet. And and this seems to be important to you to kind of radiate out some love. So you may feel that your life is not fulfilling enough in the joy department, for lack of a better word. And consciousness is really talking about allowing your desires to be real and allowing those impulses to be real. You know, I'm getting the impression that a lot of you are pushing them aside as like, oh yeah, whatever, pipe dream, or like, I have to get real, you know, that's just a fantasy, so on and so forth. But as a Scorpio North Node, you are less, it's on your life path. It's that your soul wants to experience not always having a plan, let's say, or not always being practical. Because on the other side, your South Node is Taurus. And Taurus is a very grounded and practical sign. Scorpio is very watery and is also very willing to undertake change. You know, the Phoenix, the Death card is Scorpio, and the death of past versions of yourself. So this consciousness card is calling, and the duality is calling you to kind of be aware of that you have what feels like two opposing ideas in your mind, and how you can kind of find a center point between them where the practicality and the pleasure are the same, or not the same, balanced, or balanced. Oh, forgiveness. I think this is one of my favorite cards, actually. Number 20. Okay, sorry, I had to pause there because The wall my desk is on the other side of it is the washroom. So I figured you don't need to hear toilet flushing. Yeah, so forgiveness kind of goes along with this strong energy of what is awaking inside of you is really something from your culture or from your family. And there may be some hurt feelings, some things that happened that need to be forgiven so that you can fully enjoy this gift for what it is. With forgiveness comes freedom, because you give yourself the freedom. You allow yourself to enjoy things differently when you let go of negative associations with it. So let's say I just saw a plate of Ethiopian food, for example. So let's say that you have traditional parents and you grew up as a child of the diaspora. You're firstborn in whatever country you live, and you wanted to fit in and didn't embrace your culture necessarily. Maybe you felt it restricting. That forgiving what you felt was limits on your potential. And maybe seeing that from a more objective standpoint, and also realizing that you now, for the most part, I am going to say that the people watching this are adult-ish, for the most part, that you now have the choice of how, because you're ultimately going to be the vessel for your culture and your ancestry to the next generation, whether it's your own kids or your siblings' kids, or just younger people in general, So all of those tools that come from your ancestry, you have the freedom to use however you like. You can show them off however, it will just add to the beautiful pattern of your tail feathers, right? Oh, so Merkaba, past lives, Akashic records. Now, if you're a Scorpio North Node, it may mean, the North Node is, even though it's calling to us from this side, we're comfortable over here. We're comfortable on the other pole, let's say, the equal and opposite sign. So you would find, as a Taurus, South Node, Scorpio, North Node, you will find yourself comfortable in grounded thinking, practicality, the material world. Merkaba is anything but the material world. It's the ether, it's spirit, it's and it's kind of intangible until you birth it into being, by embodying it in your life, by until you bring it down into the earthly realm through your channeling. So yeah, you have a very rich inheritance. I've heard for someone it is financial. Like, I was just using a figure of speech, but for some people that's actually quite literal. an inheritance from your family. It may be unexpected. Or discovering wealth in your family. And others of you, it is a different type of inheritance. It's a delightful inheritance. It's something that changes the vibe of your life and your family. You know, it's very much a gift. And you may not see how it serves a higher purpose for you, but it's like one of those tools you need for your journey, and will enrich your journey if you accept it fully accept it. Okay, let's see how that is playing out in your 3D reality. I'll apologize if I'm a bit quiet. There's still people sleeping in my house. So okay. Always when I get down to the 3D, it's a little bit of a challenge to get cards. So we have the Hierophant in reverse. So the Hierophant in reverse is, yes, so this feeling of resistance to learning something or to accepting some collective knowledge. The Fool is, yeah, either a new experience or going it alone with faith and a little bit of naivete. We have the Magician, which for me in this case, yeah, is manifesting Master Manifester is always my first instinct for the Magician. And then the Chariot in reverse is something slowing down your progress. So yeah, some of you are really having some type of kind of family crisis of heart, crisis of spirit. Someone also had someone pass away that called into question, or that brought things to the surface from the past, or family issues to the surface. Maybe someone who was always, let's say, the diplomat, or the beacon of loving energy in the family. Perhaps they passed away, and now that left kind of a hole in your family that now you are meant to fill. For one of you specifically, that person died recently, and there's some other people in this reading who they passed away or transitioned into the spirit realm like in the last 12 months, and it has brought them, and they became your spirit guide for a lot of you. And that is why there's this whole awakening in you to, I keep going back to the example of baking. If it's not baking, if it's fixing cars, or if it's painting, or if it's pottery, but the image that they're giving me is like a big family kitchen. The matriarch of the family passed away. She is now has entered the spirit realm and is guiding and is sending a lot of activations, activating your latent kind of DNA codes of things that have been in your family and cultural tradition for a long time. And you are now being called to step into the fullness of that role, whatever it means for you, like with your own colorings as well. So whatever that may be, I know the cooking and the baking may be a very specific person, but whatever it may be that's coming from your ancestry, from your family, I see it showing up in your life as a conflict, an internal struggle, and maybe you just not giving it a chance, like being stubborn or being, because you're basically the one who's causing this slowdown. It's you that's causing the slowdown. Because you can't forgive something. This is totally, I go wherever the cards and the guides want me to go. And this is a very ancestral family, traditions, culture, community reading. So, and on the Scorpio North Node, because Scorpio is a very, I used the word esoteric sign came up to me, right? They're more about the intangible than the tangible. And they love, Scorpio is a basking in delights kind of sign, wine, chocolate, art, not for the sake of owning it, but for the experience of it, right? So this to is all about flipping. You may not physically change your circumstances. It's about changing how you see your circumstances and allowing things to be alive within you, allowing your family lineage and your culture and your history to live within you. Because it will bring you a greater experience of joy. It's part of the nuts and bolts that will get you to the next level of happiness and manifestation in your life. Like, you need it in your toolkit, and the universe and your ancestors want to give it to you. Okay, I'm just, so in these, I'm going to pull some more tarot, and we're going to look at kind of the bridge between the 3D and the 5D. Okay, so we have the Hermit, the Four of Pentacles, the Ten of Cups, and the Two of Cups. So in this circle here, it's all about how can you transmute / alchemize the energy between what's going on here in the 3D and the 5D. So how could you use these for your highest good and expansion? So, the Hermit is one of, really taking some alone time and enjoying some alone time. And not for hiding, but for rejuvenation and for really tuning into what's in your heart. They want you to become aware of kind of where you are holding on to things that no longer serve you, like for the sake of, I'm hearing especially like for the sake of being right. You're denying yourself like freedom from a past trauma, a past argument, past disagreement, or where you didn't feel accepted by your family, or you felt misunderstood, and you got used to that. Some of you got used to that and then just never wanted or never expressed the need for connection within the family unit. So, and the first step is to admit that there are, to yourself, and maybe journal to yourself things that were very positive in your family life or in your culture, like things that you love about it, memories that you have, weddings, religious rites, rites of passage, family gatherings, whatever. Maybe you've been to the country. If it's not outside the country, maybe it's the hometown of one of your parents or a grandparent. Maybe it's a certain recipe. So just in your heart, as going inside and finding those things that spark the joy, and allow it to be. Allow those two things, duality and consciousness. Allow those two things. Like, I could be disappointed by my family, but there was also stuff that was kind of fun and funny and heartwarming. Some of you may need to dig, but it's there. Some of it may not be directly your family. It may just be within like something you love in your culture, the music, for example. I keep hearing the cloth, so maybe some of you come from a culture where the cloth is very an important sign of, maybe it's tartan, a certain, it signifies special occasions, it signifies your family or your tribe. The Four of Pentacles, it's in this case, I take the cards as they mean it for me, which means it may not be the traditional tarot meaning. In this, I'm seeing, some people interpret this as, maybe like saving or being tight, being stingy or overprotective. They see it, but in this one, I'm seeing like cherish. So the continued energy of here, it's important for you to cherish, these gems from your family, these good memories and recipes and whatever it is that you find when you're reflecting to be those positive memories. It's important for you to keep them close to your heart and allow yourself to enjoy them. Don't allow certain experiences or that you have that did not go as you would have liked. Don't allow that to stop you from cherishing some of the beautiful moments and laughter and from your family or traditions. So because we have here the Ten of Cups, like all of this here is like, yay, a happy family life. Like for sure there are people who've had a very rough time in life and family, but maybe I'm getting here also, creating a new family, whether it's one that's romantic or one that's just really close friendship, right? And So cherishing family of the past, and also defining and cherishing the family you have now. I also have allowing yourself to dream, visualize, and manifest with the Magician here, and manifest a family, a home life that is your, highest ideal. And expecting it to come to you. So, you have the freedom to manifest whatever. You skew and slow down your manifestation if you expect bad things, or you assume that certain things can't coexist, right? Or you allow your disappointments to guide your future expectations. Okay, and then we have the Two of Cups. Yeah, it's kind of minor arcana Lover's card. I'm getting here, you have a choice of how you want to see things. Like you are the writer of your story, so you have a choice of how you tell your story. Who are the protagonists, who are the antagonists, and how you tell your story then affects how you feel about it. And once you change how you feel, then you can change how you act, and at the end of that, you change what you manifest. So, I'm also seeing that there's just like a relationship on the horizon for somebody out there. A high level commitment, whatever that looks like to you. And for someone specifically, it's like there's this love that could be with someone that's from kind of your community or culture, but you're resistant to carrying on traditions and want to be modern. Is someone planning a wedding and wants to do like the very traditional Western bride thing, and there's a conflict about doing the traditional part? Yes, because I keep seeing pictures of Say Yes to the Dress in my head, and the brides that come in and they say, okay, they're doing, for example, a Hindi ceremony, and then they're going to wear the traditional Western white red wedding dress at a different part of the ceremony or a different part of the celebration. So there's also that, and you see like the two hands here, like kind of multicultural, it looks like to me. So we're bridging the 3D and the 5D, like reaching our highest potential, Scorpio North Node. I'm saying we, not because I'm a Scorpio North Node, but just because it feels good. We're bridging this gap between this kind of resistance that's happening in the 3D and all the energies in the 5D by having, cherishing family memories and allowing, even if there were bad times, allowing the good times to be something that you cherish. And letting those good times, those good memories, be something that informs your future as well. Okay, I'm going to check the the bridge between the 5D and the universal energies, so there may come up something that's in your soul's memory or in a past life. Ten of Wands, the Eight of Cups. Okay, I'm just going to look into this. Well, the first thing right off the bat is that regardless of the fact that none of these, well, this is a Eight of Lotuses is the cups, but there's water in all of these cards. Because there's a whale, so this is all underwater. This is splashing in the water. There's a boat on the water, and here we also, this was in reverse though. So what am I getting here? Okay, I'm getting that in a past life, like this particular situation has some soul memories that are rooted in a past life where you lost, I won't say, not simply lost your family, but probably lost the whole village. And emotionally you were required to just like move on. You know, this is not a unique story in history. You know, there were times that were, you know, army sweeps in or a conqueror sweeps in and takes over the village, and people leave by foot and leave everything behind that they know and live in exile somewhere. So, because this is, I get, like these almost look like missiles to me, or fiery arrows. And then we have this sunken ancient kind of village, what looks like a church here and some archways. And we have a boat, a reverie, like reminiscing. It's playing the harp and on the water, looking very nostalgic. And then we have the Six of Embers in reverse. So I'm getting the energy of displacement, which may be why number one, you find yourself to be a very practical person when it comes to house and family. and career and security. Number 2, you have almost a deep-seated fear or resistance to having your family too close to your heart, because not even, it's very strange, because in this story I'm not feeling like you lost your family. I just feel like your family was displaced. So it's like almost but there's a yearning for home and for your culture and your food and your traditions. And this is what I see in the 6 of Wands in reverse. And yeah, it's funny what we carry with us in our soul's memory. That devastation almost leads you to not want to be too close to your traditions in this lifetime. But that's what's coming in. Oops, because your North Node is meant to take you kind of on a healing path, really. And some of us are called to do some major healing in our ancestral line. And that doesn't mean sitting down and mediating discussions between family members necessarily. It just means you becoming this full embodiment of the past, present, and future aspects of yourself, and activating all of those soul memories that live within your family lineage. Clearing out some major stuff as well, just by doing things differently, or by returning to a way of doing things that somehow was forced out of your family by war, famine, displacement, suffering, etc. All right, so that's all Spirit has for you with those cards. I hope that it's been resonating with you thus far. I'm going to pull 2 oracle cards. We have One Ring Circus from the Enchanted Map. And we have two cards from the Oracle of the Seven Energies, 41 and 24. A higher view and let it go. Oh, that seems very appropriate, even though I haven't read it yet. So I'm just going to read from the book for you. One Ring Circus. Let's see if I can get it without a glare. There we go. You are capable and competent. Independence is key now as you step into your journey today. Others may not have the vision or resources that you need. Recognize that all the wisdom you've acquired along the way makes you particularly competent, capable of moving forward with assurance. Self-reliance is important. Another aspect to consider is creating and maintaining clear boundaries between you and another. Be discerning about your partnerships at this time. When you know who you are and have a healthy sense of where you end and others begin, you're able to enter into the best kind of relationships and will attract people who mirror back your wholeness. Wholeness. I'm going to say that word again, wholeness. Interdependent relationships are always mutually supportive, stimulating, and transformative. You can achieve anything at this time. So yes, I'm getting the energy of this Four of Pentacles again, where, you know, she also looks like she's chilling, traveled somewhere, and she has this purse of things that she cherishes, but it's compartmentalized, so to speak, but it's also part of her. And so I feel like this wholeness is important for you in September. And like we said in the beginning, the integration of like this family energy, the gifts of your family and your ancestors. Okay, that's one ring circus. Let's check out here. A higher view. And that's seeing things, from higher perspective, not just being in the nitty-gritty of things. Seeing it from your own perspective. Okay, a higher view, seeing from a higher perspective, conscious neutrality, letting go of judgment and assumptions, non-attachment, the ability to remain unbiased. Sometimes our lives are suction cupped to the ends of our noses and we can't see beyond ourselves. This happens to everyone once in a while. We fall into an automatic response to life and react from a learned, conditioned place rather than one of awareness. Being in reactivity keeps us repeating old patterns. Conversely, the avoidance of our triggers could keep us in our comfort zone, policing our attempts at new things. The way to be successful in your endeavor to connect with others is to step out of your sticky perception of the world. Imagine yourself sitting on the back of a bird 1,000 feet above your life. Wouldn't your perspective change? From a higher point of view, you can see for miles. You can let go of naming or blaming the obstacles in your way and instead easily discover a path to more beautiful and compelling vistas. More can become available to you in all aspects of your life when you are able to step back and get a little distance. You can wait before responding, be graceful in your interactions, and see how everything is connected and every experience is a gift. The world is wide open for you today. All you have to do is move to higher ground, be mindful, and celebrate the spectacle of life's dance. So, yes, this is what we said about stepping back and forgiving and not letting the disappointments and maybe little arguments that you may be holding on to with your family, conflicts, and see things from a higher view, especially if for people whose parents immigrated, and they felt bound by and you as a child felt bound by, their cultural norms, which were not in line with the cultural norms of where you were now living. Like, you have to also see it from their perspective of, what it took for them to leave their homeland, what they may have left behind, and how important it was for them to preserve something for you to know yourself or to know where you came from, while still allowing you to build a new, an identity with the land where you were, or where you grew up. It's not for everybody, but this has a very strong energy of that. So there's a good amount of you out there where that may be playing a role. It does not have to just be immigration. It could also be moving to different spheres of life. It could be moving from the south to the north or the east to the west of a country, And we have let it go. Let it go. Forgiveness, healing, resentments, shedding the role of the eternal martyr, letting go of victimhood, cutting the ties that bind you to a destructive story, releasing pain so you can move into the lesson it offers, relinquishing the need to be right. Did I not say that? Did I not say letting go of that argument where you're just holding your ground because you want to be right? Yes, I did. So there are times in life when you must forgive, lest you become a hostage to your anger. frustration, disappointments, and resentments. This is not about condoning bad behavior or minimizing a hurt done to you. Forgiveness is simply a commitment to stop telling an old story so you don't carry its burden anymore. Then face telling your story in a different way. Yeah. If you don't forgive, old hurts fester and become distorted, causing you pain over and over again. You become trapped in a prison of your own making, tied to the story that you were a victim. It's time to cut the invisible cords attaching you to the situation and preventing you from moving forward. The truth is, you are victimizing yourself every time you recreate the unresolved hurt in your mind or speak of it with friends. Rather than allow this folly to repeat, surrender the situation to your higher power. Now is the time for radical forgiveness. Say no to drama in all forms and forgive yourself and others for engaging in it. Consider the ancient Hawaiian practice known as Ho'oponopono. I think I got that right. Okay. This simple prayer is a beautiful way to begin the process of forgiveness. I'm sorry, forgive me, thank you, I love you. It's based on the idea that we are all responsible for the reality we see in the world. If something is awry, whether it's your perception, your emotional reactions, your judgment, and so forth, it's up to you to clean it up. Forgiveness is the key to a liberated and meaningful life. No matter what method you choose, just do it. So you have the forgiveness card down there. Don't forget that. All right, so I am going to move on to the extended reading. This is all I have for this at the moment. In the extended reading, I choose some more oracle cards, so crystals and daily self-care practice and colors that you can bring into your environment to help you support integrating these energies and aligning to your North Node path in the month of September. I also channel some affirmations for you. The extended I refer to as everyday alchemy. So it's just simple ways that you can infuse spirit into your day-to-day life in support of your highest good. Thank you so much. So anyone who wants to go to the extended everyday alchemy reading, it's linked below in the description box. And otherwise, I will see you at the next new moon. Thank you, Scorpio North Node. Take care, be blessed, and be well.